guys, welcome back to my channel. So you already know what this thumbnail is about and what you have obviously seen on the title and the thumbnail of this video. So this is me without obviously the makeup, and I start off by using a white base. Actually not a white base, I start off by using the e.l.f. Cosmetics in Deep Caramel as a base for my eyelids, and I'll show you what I'll be using with the white eyeshadow base a bit later. So I've been really inspired by obviously the dark fantasy makeup inspired looks on Pinterest and sort of that tribal aesthetic sort of look. So I'm really going in just dabbing the concealer just as like a set base. So I'm going using the Revolution's makeup eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love this palette in the shade Forever Flawless, and I'll go in using the sort of caramel base called Asteroid, which is kind of like a light caramel tone eyeshadow, which is quite similar to the concealer I'm using on the base of my eyelids. So I'm just going in using a very gorgeous gold kind of similar to Trophy Wife actually. It's in the shade called Solar. I'm just using a flat brush to dab that on my eyelids, then to kind of morph it all together, create a kind of blended out cut crease. I'll go in using Universal, which is like a deep sort of purpley brown. So this is where I go in really showing where I'll be using the e.l.f. or NYX, sorry, white base. So I'll go in using like a sort of shape, tribal shape underneath my eyes, and obviously I'll leave it here and you guys can see what I'm creating. So to really intensify the white base underneath my eyes, I thought let me go for like a nice deep midnight blue. So I'll go in using the shades Neptune and Night Sky. So I'm just using that around the corners of the white base underneath my eyes, and I am a little concerned with how this is starting to look, but I'm like, do you know what, trust the process, just keep going and see how this makeup look ends up turning out. So as you can see, I'm just using that on the outer corners of the white base. Then I'll go in using Fenty Beauty's Trophy Wife on the middle of the shape that I've created underneath. But then I've decided to actually go with it all blue. Excuse me. Then I go in using like a black eyeshadow base. I start using that. Then I go in using the Trophy Wife's highlight palette, and I realized, you know what, it actually looks better where there's a bit of gold underneath, and I'm actually liking how this is coming together. It is giving fantasy tribal makeup. So then I'll go in using Made by Mitchell's blush set, and then I'll go in using like an orangey base on my cheeks and I'll go in using that. I didn't want to go any more brighter, so for the lipstick I go in using first of all the black lipstick shade by Barry M, and that's for the outer corners of my lips, and I really wanted to intensify the lips. So then I'll go in using a really lovely berry colour by PLT makeup brand in the lip shade Dark Rose. I wasn't really happy with how deep it looked, so I added a bit of concealer just to brighten it up a little bit. Then I went in using a Collection 2000's lip gloss in clear, and I'm just adding that on my lips, and this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and follow for more videos. Mwah. Reach out your day for gold. What would be